For this video review, we're going to take a look at DC Multiverse by Mattel. This is the Batman from the Gotham by Gaslight. So this is another action figure, a great budget find that you could take a look at Amazon if you are interested. So last time that I checked 2 days ago, it was around the $14 mark. So I think it is still around that price. So plus shipping and tax, it's going to be around the $16 or $17 mark. So Gotham by Gaslight Batman, let's take this figure out of packaging. Since this action figure is part of a Build-A-Figure series of Mattel featuring the Lex Luthor Superman, it has the Lex Luthor head and the cape. Well, extra pieces are welcome bonus for customizers like us. So we have an extra head that we could use with any action figure that we choose, and an extra cape that we could use just in case we're need of a soft rubbery cape like this. But basically the figure comes with an extra pair of hands, and the accessories, which are throwing knives, are actually already on the belt of the figure. So let's take it out of packaging. So for accessories, let us first take a look at the throwing knives that this action figure has on board, and it is already on the accessory belt or the utility belt. So how many knives does this figure have? So those are 1, 2, 3, 4 throwing knives of varying lengths. And the handsets that are included with this is a accessory holding hand and a throwing knife or knife holding hand. So as you could see, the peg hole on this left hand is according to the handles of the throwing knives. The extra handsets that comes with this figure actually could still hold on to accessories if you wish to make these handsets as either a right hand or a left hand designation for the action figure, just in case that you don't want to use any of the handsets that are already on board. But I think the knife holding hand is going to stay, and this hand is going to go with this other handset. So because I still have a accessory that I want to match with this action figure later on. So just a point of comparison between the Batman action figures that you could possibly already have in your collection. So a much older Classics Batman by Mattel, and a more recent Batman action figure by Mattel before it was taken over by McFarlane. And finally, we have a McFarlane produced Batman action figure for the DC Multiverse line. So let's do a quick 360 spin or view of this action figure so we could take a look at the details in general. So let's take a closer inspection of the details of the action figure. So this is the details on the head unit or the head sculpt. So really nicely painted eyes, and they are really nice and even. Nice flesh tones on the mouth and the areas that are exposed on the eyes of the figure. We still have the presence of stitching on the front of the mask and stitching on the coat, or possibly the cloak or whatever this is called. So there's still that stitching or possibly mold on the plastic, and also on the bat symbol on the chest. And when you take a look at the suit, so we still have those straps, and those are the details on the utility belt and the individual knives. And those knives, they are you could take them off individually if you wish, and place it on the left hand of the figure. So we have an exposed area of the upper tunic or the vest. So this is the details on the boots and the foot of the figure, and the gloves. Now I only wish that the gloves on this action figure were a little bit higher, possibly up unto here, but actually in execution in toy form it is still good. So that is the details on the handsets, and once again closer look on the face and on the coat or cloak. And the coat material on this action figure is made of soft goods material. So the outer part is quite rubberized to match the upper part of the coat or cloak, but the inner part of the soft goods material is really nice and soft. This is just the rougher part. So we have the action figure in a great action pose. So I took out one of the knives and he is ready to throw one of those knives. So because we're going to discuss articulation points this time, so I posed him in a really nice action pose. So let's start with the head unit. So for the head unit, ample left and right turns of the head unit. We have great looking down motion, but not much on the looking up motion. So the looking up motion, that's where this figure is going to suffer a bit. So moving towards the body of the action figure, so we have a diaphragm cut, and that diaphragm cut allows for really nice backward bends and nice forward bends. We also have a cut on the waistline for rotation of the waistline. Moving towards the arms. Now, since this part of the coat or cloak of this BatMan action figure is covering really at least 35% of both arms, then articulation on these arms is going to be quite limited. So rotation 360 of both arms is going to be hindered, but with regards to T poses, it's possible to put the arms on a T pose. And we have a cut on the bicep for rotation of the bicep, single point of articulation or bend for the elbow, and as you could see, they are pinless. We also have rotation for the hands, and each individual hands come with a hinge. So moving towards the leg of the figure, so we have ample front kicks, sideways kicks, but with regards to backward kicks, it's going to be hindered because of the design of the back of the figure, the butt of the figure. So that's going to be the limitation. But with regards to poses like this, you could pose this figure this way. So really dramatic pose. So we have a cut on the thigh for rotation of the thigh. We have 2 points of articulation for the knee, and that is how the knee bends, really nice and clean. And as you could see, they are pinless. So the joints on this action figure are pinless compared to your more traditional DC Universe Classics action figures, wherein the pins are really nice and big and single point of articulation only, but it's still a great figure. So moving towards the foot, we have a hinge for each foot and we have rocker points, but with regards to the boot, we don't have boot rotation for the shins of this action figure, so that is the limitation for articulation on the legs. But with regards to putting this figure in action poses like this, it is still very possible, and as you could see, very cool. So the design is one of a kind. The accessories are just nice and decent. Handsets are okay, and the last piece of accessory that we're going to add to this figure is going to be a grapple gun. I think I have a grapple gun that could possibly match the one that he used in the animated movie. So let's take that accessory and put it on the figure. The grapple gun that is on this action figure is from a McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman action figure. Actually, the first Batman action figure that McFarlane has produced for DC. So I just changed the material, the wire or the rope that shoots out of the grapple gun from that really thick plastic material to a floral arrangement wire. So really nice and thin, and you could imagine that that wire or that rope possibly is stored coiled inside this grapple gun. So this is how the figure looks with a grapple gun. So in the last scene of the animated movie, wherein he chases after the Jack the Ripper character, so he uses this grapple gun, and somehow it looks kind of similar to the one that he uses. So this is the only accessory that this figure does not have packaged in when I purchased it. So, but totally, even if this figure does not come with this, it is still a cool looking action figure. The design is really nice and simple, not too flashy like McFarlane toys, but is an effective effective design. When you take a look at it, you really know that this is the Gotham by Gaslight Batman action figure. Well, of course, the design in the movie or in the comic books is going to be different from the actual figure. Well, because especially in the animated movie, wherein we still have an opening on the tunic or the coat or the upper coat on this portion over here, but with this figure it's just going to be one piece. So that's the only difference and the missing component. But overall, really satisfied with this find, and for the price, really perfect. And if this rubbery material on the coat or cloak really hinders the articulation points of the action figure, you could still actually play with it, take it out and replace it with soft goods material, and you'll have great articulating arms on this action figure. So for below the $20 mark, even if it includes tax and shipping, this is still a win-win figure for me. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.